Here we go. Happy NFL roster cutdown day. Not happy for everyone, unfortunately, but it is a notable day on the NFL calendar. Welcome into Chicago Bears Now. My name is Harrison Graham. And Collin, I'm realizing that we're having a light glitch, so you're just going to have to flip those on and off real quick. Some of them just didn't turn on. There you go. You guys can see this happen in real time. There you go. We are lit up here in Studio B. Shout out Cullen Brown there. And we're going to get you ready for the 53-man roster revelation. We'll go through the cuts. And, of course, as we wait for that, we'll get you caught up on everything that is going on so far. So here we go. Welcome in. And it's going to be a busy show. And Cullen, some last-minute decisions appear to be being made at Hallis Hall right now as the Bears got to trim down to 53 very soon.
Yeah, man. I mean, we still got some kind of high-ish profile names that still could be potentially cut for the Bears. Obviously, Velus Jones is going to be the one I feel like most people are kind of on their, edge of their seat.
I think he's pretty safe at this point, but obviously no official word there. The most recent cut was Austin Reed, our HBO Sweet Prince. I think he'll be a prime candidate to return to the practice squad, but lots to dive into. If you're new to this channel, if you're a Bears fan, subscribe. Coming up at 3 Central, we'll react to everything as it comes in, and of course, until then, we'll get you ready for what we know so far. Shout out your city. Let us know where you guys are tuning in from, and we'll get some shout outs here. What's up, Terry Baird? Let us know where you're tuning in from and watching today's show, as we got a lot of news set to drop here. Foxtrot in Houston. We got Truman in Phoenix. Let's see. Mike in Napoleon, Ohio. We got Denny in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Juan in Chicago. Sport Videos in Chicago. Lathrop, California from Fear the Squid. Sulphur, Oklahoma from Jacob. Anchorage, Alaska from Zachary. What's up, Zach? We got Noah in Madison, Wisconsin. Winds Beyond in Minneapolis. Beverly, Illinois from Tommy. We got another Josh in Clinton, Illinois. Tampa, Florida from our good pal Trump. We got TS Plays in Arlington Heights. Northside, Chicago from Big Block Chevel. Kevin in Rockford, Illinois. Emil in Denmark. What's up? We got people watching overseas here on today's show. Shout out to the 700+ watching. Go ahead and hit that like button while you're at it. All right, who is a roster bubble player that you are rooting for to make this football team? Drop a name in the comments. Roster bubble player. Who we rocking with? Who you repping? Flash says Hardy. Baskerville from Dave. Reddy Stewart from FF2. Well, with Greg Stroman Jr. getting cut, Colin, that bodes well for Reddy Stewart. The Bears are down to 7 corners, so they could keep 7, which means he would make it. If they keep 6, can he get chosen over Josh Blackwell or Jalen Jones? That's what it would come down to, but he dodged the Greg Stroman Jr. bullet, so we'll see if he can sneak onto the 53.
Yeah, no, I mean, we talked about it throughout the preseason that the Bears' cornerback depth chart was arguably the deepest in the NFL, and listen, they could keep 7. And Reddy Stewart, we did, especially in that last preseason game, he did everything he needed to potentially earn a spot on this roster. We'll see if Ryan Poles agrees, but yeah, he's definitely a name to look out for.
A lot of Daniel Hardy love. Brett Rypien already got cut, so we'll see what happens there. He's a vested vet, so he can get signed to another team. If not, I would expect him to return to the practice squad, but he is not subject to waivers. Leon Jones, he got cut as well. Did have a good camp. I think he'd be a prime practice squad candidate. Kari Blasingame. I've got the poll question up right now. Pick a player to keep. It could come down to Kari Blasingame and Brendan Bates. We'll see. I think Bates is making this team as a 4th tight end, and it'll come down to, at that point, do they also keep a fullback? So get your votes in on that. And I don't know. I just feel like the versatility of Bates, Colin, is more valuable. You could keep both, but if it's one or the other, I think I'm keeping Bates. He's a receiving threat, good blocker, just like Blasingame, and I think he gives you more versatility on some of these special teams units.
Yeah, and I think he'd be serviceable, too, if, knock on wood, one of the tight ends went down or something. And listen, Blasingame, I mean, they ran that awkward kind of fullback screen there in the preseason.
Didn't show much burst on that.
And he just hasn't shown a lot just in general, you could argue. So it's one of those things where I think it makes a lot of sense not to keep a fullback on the roster. We've mentioned it before, but Shane Waldron, doesn't normally keep fullbacks on his roster, so I just don't think it's going to look likely for
Bates in the preseason as a receiving tight end, 6 catches, 100 yards. It's almost 17 a catch. I mean, I know he's going up against backups, but I thought he showed a little wiggle, had strong hands. Did Mercedes get caught? No, Mercedes is making it. This would be a scenario where Bates is the 4th tight end, and we know that Waldron's going to deploy 2 and 3 tight end looks, so you probably need a 4th if you're going to run some 13 personnel. So I think Bates has a pretty good shot of making it here. 23 minutes until roster cuts are due. Hit that like button if you haven't already here on Chicago Bears Now. We got 900 people watching, just 147 likes. Let's get those numbers up. And I'll tell you what, every 150 likes, since we're almost there, I'm taking a shot here on today's show. Got the tequila back out for you guys, so we just crossed 150, so I'll rip the first shot of the day here, and cheers. Nothing like a little 245 tequila shot. And, every 150, we'll rip a shot for you guys. We do have a Super Chat menu today. Usually we don't do a raffle on these midweek streams, but if you're a first-time Super Chatter, I'll knock out 5 jumping jacks. $10 for a chance to win a Bears jersey. We will do a raffle at the end of the stream. $10 to enter. Get yourself a raffle ticket. $20 will spin the roulette wheel. $50 get you into the Bears Helmet Hall of Fame. We got our new helmet for the season, so kind of your last chance to get on this one before we raffle that off in the Bears season opener against the Titans. And then 500 total. I know it's lofty for a midweek stream, but I'll knock out a beer boot for you guys if we get there. I already poured one out, a Happy Dad boot if we get to 500. So there's our Super Chat menu today. If you guys want to get a little wild, have some fun, that is at your disposal if you choose to do so. All right, Joseph, Colin's always down to party. He's always ready to go, Let's catch you guys up on the guys who have been cut so far. A lot of these we've known for a couple of days. Keith Randolph Jr., Tommy Sweeney, Douglas Coleman, Nsimba Webster, and Ian Wheeler all are IR injury guys that the Bears will keep around at least for now. Khalid Kareem got cut. So did Tyree Carter. That was a minor surprise yesterday. Jerome Carvin, Javin White, Paul Moala. Quindell Johnson was another cut. Michael Dwumfor, Jalen Hutchings. You got Peter LeBlanc. John Jackson, the wide receiver. Byron Cowart, the defensive tackle. Collin Johnson, the wide receiver, was one this morning along with Brett Rypien as they hit the road. Cameron Lyons was reported to get cut as well. More on the long snapper situation in a minute. Stephen Carlson, the tight end, could be a practice squad candidate. Adrian Colbert, a guy I projected on my 53, thought it would come down to him and Tarvarius Moore. Looks like Moore has a chance to make it. They could just keep 4 safeties. That's another option. Corliss Waitman, the second punter, has been waived. Aviante Collins as well. Leon Jones, Deshaun Mallory, and then Austin Reed. And if our math is correct, the Bears are down to 65 players. So that means they got to cut 12 more or cut 10 more and put 2 guys on short-term IR, which has been reported as a real possibility. And really, to me, you're down to 62 players because these 3 guys I expect to get cut. They're kind of ones that it would be surprising if any of them made it. So Theo Benedette, one of the Hard Knock stars, Jamry Chroma, and then Roe Torrance, who actually had a decent preseason, but just a crowded cornerback room. This would get you to 62 players. So then you've got about 18, 19 players here coming up that are vying for 9 spots in theory. Let's go through the roster bubble. Travis Homer. Does Travis Homer make the Bears 53-man roster? We'll have to wait and see. We'll get to Super Chats in a second. $10 to enter a jersey raffle. Velus Jones Jr., I think he's safe, but as of now, we don't know for sure. Kari Blasingame, I think there's a decision that has to be made there. DeAndre Carter, Dante Pettis. As of now, there's only 6 Bears wide receivers left. I think the top 4 are locks of Rome Odunze, DJ Moore, Keenan Allen, and Tyler Scott. For sure, one of Carter and Pettis will make it. Will both make it? Could Pettis be an IR guy, short-term IR stash? That is certainly a possibility as well. Kevin in the chat is saying Homer got cut. Is that true? Not seeing anything official there. not seeing anything. Is that, or are you guys just predicting? Brendan Bates, Matt Pryor, Bill Murray. I think both those guys are safe, by the way, Pryor and Murray. Doug Kramer Jr., which I think he's going to make it if Ryan Bates' injury status is in doubt for week 1 because you need a backup center. And then Dominique Robinson on the bubble as well. 9 other guys here. Daniel Hardy, Jacob Martin, Noah Sewell, Micah Baskerville, Josh Blackwell, Jalen Jones. I would think those guys are probably safe, but maybe Reddy Stewart takes one of their spots. Elijah Hicks, and then safety Tarvarius Moore. And so, again, 19 guys for 9 spots. I think that's kind of what you're looking at. I think 2 of those players, Collin, will revert to short-term IR. So then 17 guys for 9 spots, but still some tough decisions to be made.
I agree.
Shout out to Kurt. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. First time super chatter. 5 jumping jacks right there. And then we've got Chicago Rob, our first raffle ticket. So if no one else sent in a $10 super chat, Chicago Rob would get a Bears jersey. He says, thanks for repping. Go Bears FGB. $10 super chat to enter the jersey raffle. And as of now, we wouldn't even have to do a raffle. It would be Chicago Rob. All right, a couple of notes to monitor. Jason Leisure tweeted this out about an hour ago that the Bears are expected to keep longtime long snapper Patrick Scales on the 53-man roster today, then move him to IR tomorrow. The expectation right now is that he'll be back by the end of October. So that puts you what? Week 6, 7, 8, something like that. That makes me think he had a procedure done. Cameron Lyons, who signed August 4th, has been doing the job in camp. Someone else reported he's been cut, so we've got him as a cut, but none of the big reporters have yet, so maybe that's unclear at this point, but we will keep eyes on that. But even if he is cut, you could bring him back or you could sign another long snapper. That's not a huge deal, but something to monitor. Brad Biggs had this earlier today, mentioning that 3 guys could go to short-term IR. And remember, with the new rules, you can designate 2 of those guys, but if you have beyond that, you'd have to carry him through the initial 53. So it sounds like Scales is going to be the guy that gets carried onto the initial 53, and then they'll put 2 other guys on short-term IR. Who could that be? Dante Pettis, Jacob Martin, Larry Borum, a couple of guys that come to mind right there. So we will see who those players are. Also wanted to mention this, just around the league. Rams traded linebacker Ernest Jones to the Titans. And why is that relevant? Well, Bears play the Titans in week 1. So in 12 days, they've added another starting caliber player to that defense. So Ernest Jones is on the Titans, and the Bears will see him in week 1, making sure this isn't Bears-related. Nope, that's Michael Hall. So that's where things sit right now. And at this point, I think we'll just get the rest of the cuts at 3 o'clock Central, if I had to guess, with 15 minutes and change. Steven Rosinski says, jersey. Yeah, winner can choose a jersey of their choice. Got a lot available. So, Steven, you are entered. James, you are entered as well. Says, put me in the jersey raffle. And and by the way, you can get up to 5 tickets. So if you want to drop $50 in for 5 tickets, 30 for 3, etc., we'll go up to 5 raffle tickets. Give everybody a fair shake. Won't go beyond that, but you can enter that way as well. James Wooden for the jersey. You're in there, James. You are in there, James. So got 4 tickets now for a chance to win a Bears jersey. All right, 14:45 to go. Can we get to 97,500 today? 21 subs away from being 2,500 away from 100,000. We're getting close, Collin. We're going to be at 100,000 subs here on Bears Now before we know it. So shout out to the real ones who have subbed already. And if you haven't, hit that sub button. Let's get to 97,500 by the end of the stream. And then also, my other channel, 4 Verts, is 23 subscribers today away from 2,000. I will get that link in the live chat for you guys. Publishing daily NFL and college football videos. Put a video out earlier, about 2 hours ago, on Allen Robinson and how his career could be over. And obviously, a lot of you guys were with me on this channel when we talked about Allen Robinson a lot. It's kind of crazy how he's gone from a fringe top 10 receiver to maybe out of the league within like 3 years. I mean, it really is wild. He's only 31, Collin. He just turned 31, and he might be out of the NFL.
Yeah, I don't.
Wild.
I mean, we were talking about just around the office. I mean, who could potentially sign him, and no real name came up. I mean, it's.
I'll do a beer bong if we get to 2,000 today, by the way.
Okay.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I mean, I agree. Like, it's odd how quickly his career, when he was, arguably a top 15, pushing top 10 receiver. I mean, it's crazy to see how things have fallen from that.
I mean, I know there's some Mitch Trubisky truthers out there. He made Mitch at times look way better than he ever was. I mean, the acrobatic catches, going up and high point in the football. Shout out to the new subscribers, daily NFL and college football content. Come check us out. 16 away, we'll knock out a beer bong. Jeremiah, not only does he get a raffle ticket, Collin, but a first-time Super Chatter. He says 12-5 division winner. Absolutely love to see that. Oh, Jamal. I'll knock out 5 for Jeremiah. 3, 4, 5. Shout out Jeremiah, first-time Super Chat. Is this a first-time Super from Jamal as well? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Shout out to Jamal. Appreciate the donation. We got Corey Griffin in there, $2. What is your biggest surprise cut to come? I think it's going to be Blasingame, dude. I think Blasingame gets cut. Now, maybe that's not a shock, but I think they cut Blasingame. I don't think Valus gets cut. I think Daniel Hardy gets cut, but I don't think that's that surprising. I think they're going to keep Dominique Robinson, which, again, I wouldn't do, but that's what I think is going to happen there. A potential surprise one would be if Jalen Jones or Josh Blackwell got cut. They kept 6 corners but kept Reddy Stewart. That'd be a minor surprise, but yeah, I don't know if anything would shock me at this point, Collin, based on who is still in the mix.
No.
I don't know what that looks like. I mean,
because even if it's,
I don't know. I don't think there's any chance this happens. But if they cut Mercedes Lewis, but I don't think that's happening. I mean, they view him as basically an extra offensive tackle with his blocking ability, so that would be pretty surprising. Jamal Anderson with the 50. He gets into the Bears Helmet Hall of Fame today. It's half off today, and that also means that he gets 5 raffle tickets there, Collin.
Yes, and he also put in the chat, does Baskerville get cut? So I'm assuming he wanted to attach that to his question.
Okay, yeah. I think that could go either way. I would keep him. I think he's earned it really for the second year. Last year it was okay, undrafted rookie, you're going to keep Noah Sewell over him. But I think for 2 years now he's outplayed Sewell in camp and in the preseason. So I'm in the business of keeping better players, so I would keep Baskerville. Now maybe they keep both. Maybe they go 6 linebackers, or maybe they short-term IR Noah Sewell. Who knows? But I would like to see Baskerville make it. I think he's firmly on the bubble. I think that could go either way. So we'll see what happens there. Missouri Mauler, it's been a while since he's been in here. Through thick and thin, the Bears win. Caleb Williams, yeah, that was a quote from him in the last Hard Knocks episode. Speaking of Hard Knocks, another episode tonight. I'm not going to go live tonight since we're live right now, and just a hectic day for me. So, but I'll be watching it, tweeting some things live, and if there's anything notable, we'll talk about it on some of tomorrow's show. But there's a lot of news to come with practice squad, waiver wire, etc. So just a lot of other stuff going on. Jeremy J.D. Dorsey gets a raffle ticket. And Missouri Mauler, since you sent in a 5, by the way, if you want to match that 5 with the 5, we'll give you a ticket as well. Dorsey says, let me in on the raffle. 4th time the charm. Any hopes of getting Micah Parsons might get us over the top. We had some fun with that. Yesterday I put out a YouTube short. Caleb Williams retweeted someone who was talking about it. There's just no way right now. The Cowboys, they can't trade Micah Parsons right now. I would be legitimately stunned. Now, if he was available, hypothetically, I mean, I don't know. Does a first, the Carolina second, which is going to be a top 40 pick likely, and a 4th get it done? Is that fair value? Is it 2 1s? I mean, it would cost a shit ton to get Micah Parsons, man. But I don't know. That feels like a next offseason type of trade. If him and the Cowboys just can't work something out because he wants a historic contract and a team like the Bears comes in and trades for him. But I don't think right now that's going to be the case. Former Bear Deontay Foreman gets cut in Cleveland, so we'll see where he ends up landing. 9 subs away from halfway to 98,000, between 97 and 98 at least. Hit that sub button. Let's go. Let's go. 9 subs away here on Bears Now. Let's get it. Sub for Bears Dubs, baby. And we'll be sure to catch up on the rest of the supers. Thanks to everybody for donating, rocking and rolling with us here. Not seeing any new cuts, so I think we're just going to get the whole wave of them at 3 o'clock Central Time. That's what it feels like. That's what it feels like. And I'm trying to remember if the Bears will tweet out. I think they'll tweet out right at 3, just their full list. So we'll get a few graphics together for that. I'll react on the fly while Cullen's getting that stuff together, and then be ready to go. Be ready to go. Shout out Chris, Eric. We'll get those super chats on screen shortly. Brandon, you got a raffle ticket. He says, give me 5 more jumping jacks. Are you a first-time super chatter? All right, Brandon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Shout out Brandon. Shout out Brandon. You get a raffle ticket too, buddy. We got you in there. Captain Bears Hype Man says, in the world of craziness that I live in, which trade would you rather see, Micah Parsons or Trent Williams? I know there's only 1% either happens. I'd have to go Micah. He's 10 years younger than Trent, 11 years younger. I think he's 25. Trent Williams is 36. You got a raffle ticket. And look, I think Braxton Jones, Trent Williams is clearly better than Braxton Jones, but I think Braxton Jones has had a good camp. I think he's more than serviceable at left tackle. I have to take the guy that's 10 years younger. I mean, I do. And Parsons is incredible. So, yeah, for 1 year you could argue Trent Williams, but I mean, you're talking about a guy you'd keep for the next 5 to 10 years. You'd definitely have to go Micah Parsons. John Ramsey with the 10. You get a raffle ticket. He says, great job. Been watching the Bears since the late 70s. Appreciate that, John. Thanks for rocking with us today. We got Chris Lopez. He says, can we get 100K subs before week 1? That'd be awesome. I mean, 12 days away, 2,500 subs. It's probably lofty. There could be a scenario where we hit 100K during week 1 or during week 2. That's definitely on the table. But to hit it before week 1, that would take a big effort from Bears fans. I would certainly appreciate it if that happened. Eric Ruiz says, let's go Bears, raffle, please. You're in there, Eric. You are in there. Appreciate it. We got Tedros. Let me get in on this raffle. I gave my duck a pep talk and threatened to cut him from the team if he loses. Bear down, Packers or butt juice. There you go, Tedros. You just gotta motivate your duck. That's what it comes down to. That's what it comes down to. 5.5 minutes till Cutdown deadline. Big Block Chevelle says, Bears Titans score prediction. I like the Bears to win. This will probably change, but I don't know. I feel like the Bears 7 to 10 point win. I think Tennessee's better than people think. They invested a lot this offseason. Don't know about Will Levis. That's a pretty big question mark, but I don't know. 27-20 Bears, something like that. 27-17. I think Will Levis will definitely give you a chance or two to pick them off. So got to be opportunistic. K Cobra. Any other notable cut players from other teams that you want the Bears to sign? Yeah, we might spitball some names during this live show after we talk about the Bears' initial 53 and the Bears' own roster cuts. I do want to do another episode to either go out tonight or first thing in the morning about some waiver wire targets. So we'll definitely explore that. Tomorrow, waiver claims are due at 11 a.m. Central Time, so it's kind of early. But we'll throw something together probably. Be on the lookout for that. Bear down. Easily the best Bear show on YouTube. Keep up the good work. Appreciate that. That's a wheel spin plus 2 raffle tickets. We'll get to that spin when we get a second here. A lot of super chats flying in. RC Gaming, you get a raffle ticket. Do you extend Jenkins if he plays 15 to 16 games, and do you upgrade via draft at left tackle or stick with Jones next year? I mean, how does Jones play? If Jones is better than he's been, then I'd probably keep him because he's already at least been serviceable. As far as Jenkins go, I'd say that, yeah, if he plays 15 plus and plays at a high level, then yeah, I'd probably keep him. I'd probably have some language in the contract that protects yourself financially, but yeah, I think something could work for both sides. If he plays even 14-plus games at a high level, I'd be pretty happy with. Adam Downing with the 2, will Austin Reed be on the practice squad? I would think so. I don't think he'll get claimed by another team, and I think the Bears would probably bring him back. So yeah. Brian Legacy with the 5, first-time super chatter, 4, 5. He says, I'm heading to Houston week 2, need to represent the Bears well. Let's go, Brian. Love to hear that. Love to see that. That's awesome, man. Enjoy. Josh Manning, first-timer as well. He also gets a raffle ticket. Says, can't wait for week 1. Titans have a better roster than people give credit for, so need to be ready. Bear down. Raffle, please. You are in there, and I'm knocking out 5 for you. Shout out Josh. Shout out Josh. Another first. No, that's a 20. Have you been screwing me on these? Okay.
No.
Plazu says, cut Sewell. It's not his brother. That missed tackle looks like water hitting a raincoat. That missed tackle, I know it was one play. That was pretty glaring to me. I don't know if you remember that play, Colin, but he had the running back wrapped up and just completely couldn't tackle him. I mean, it's just like, that's not very good.
Nope.
So, yeah, I don't know what you do there. I don't know. All right, let's spin the wheel for our good pal, Bear Down. Sometimes you guys have to do something. Sometimes we have to do something. That's why it's roulette.
Subscribe.
All right, subscribe. Did we hit 97,500?
Let's see.
Hit that sub button.
Let's see. Ooh, there we go.
Yeah, we did. Let's go. I'll take a shot for that. I'll take a shot for that. If we get to 97,550, I'll do another shot. Every 50, I'll rip one. Cheers.
Sounds good.
And while we're waiting for this minute 40, you want to just sprint through the cuts that have happened so far once again?
We did get some supers, so.
All right, let's flash those real quick. J. Rod says, get me in that raffle. You're in there. Been seeing some articles about trading for Tyree Wilson. Would you do this trade? If so, what would you offer? I mean, if you're going to do that trade, it kind of feels like it's now, right? Like once the deadline passes, that seems unlikely. But I don't know. Would I give him a 5th-round pick? I'd probably consider it. He has not looked good in Vegas, but top 10 pick who I like coming out, so I'm intrigued. Trill Tarhill, what is your take on Micah Parsons to the Bears? We talked about this earlier. I think it's crazy unlikely, but he'd be incredible on this defense. I mean, if he truly is available, I'm at least sniffing around if I'm Ryan Poles. So, yeah, that would stun the NFL if that happened right now. All right, these are the roster cuts that have happened so far. We'll kind of just flash these across. A lot of these happening over the weekend. You get to the next page here when you get to some of the new ones today, like Byron Cowart, Collin Johnson, Brett Rypien, Jake Curran, who I thought he may have had a chance to make the team, but he didn't. Cameron Lyons, Steven Carlson, Adrian Colbert, who I projected on the 53. It looks like Tarvarius Moore has a shot now. Aviante Collins, Leon Jones, Deshaun Mallory, Austin Reed. If my math is correct, 65 players on the 53 as this is it. So type me if you're ready to see the 53-man roster. I'll get some shout-outs here. Type me. Here we go.
Let's go.
Here we go. I'm going to be refreshing Bears.com. If you guys see the roster drop, let me know. We got Nick, J-Rod, Blake, Brandon, Harley, Tomenato, Oliver, Jonathan, RC Gaming, Denny, Dave. We got Carrick, Joseph, Markel, Tim Griffin, Angel, Javen, Sean. Let's freaking go. 3 o'clock is here. Not seeing anything yet. Edward, Clifton.
I can give some shout-outs if you want to continue to look.
Yeah, you want to get some shout-outs?
Yeah, Jerome, Rodolph, Bourne, Tyler, Julian, Ben, Bear Down, Aaron, Caleb, Mark, Eric, Jack, Brother, Mao, Davey, Trent, Albert, Larry, Just Skepter, Buford, Jamal, Brother, Chief. Shout out to you guys, Tommy. Oh, man, oh, man.
Not seeing the Bears list just yet, so bear with us. Could take a few minutes to trickle out. You know how these things go.
Yeah, we're almost up to 2,000 concurrent viewers. Shout out to you guys.
If you're just joining us, we're doing a jersey raffle today. We will spin at the end of the show or do a raffle race at the end of the show. And the winner gets a jersey of their choice. Got most players available. So $10 to enter that. You can get up to 5 tickets. So if you want to just drop a 50 at once, that's perfectly fine too. That gets you your 5 tickets. Collin just ripped the shot for you guys. Shout out to Collin. Every 150 likes. So once we get to 450, that's another one from me. 500 totals of beer boot, by the way. We're at 250. We're halfway there. So hey, there you go. We got Snow Gang, Joseph, Garrett Wright, not sure, Mark Lavelle. We got Garrett, Snow Gang, Applesauce. Love the show. You're great. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. We are waiting for the Bears 53-man roster to be announced and revealed.
Yep.
Somewhat of a surprising cut here. Ricky Stromberg, the center out of the Commanders, third-round pick last year, got cut. I kind of liked him coming out. That's an interesting one. That's an interesting one.
Getting a super chat in here.
Angry Leeds, says FGB. He gets a raffle ticket. Shout out to Angry Leeds. Here we go.
We can leave that super on for the rest of the show.
FGB. 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 Let's go. Let's go, Angry. Let's
Michael
go.
Zaprinsky.
Zabrinsky has entered the raffle. Shout out to Michael. Shout out to Michael. Still waiting. Usually there's a kind of a transactional period here. It takes 5, 10, 15 minutes. Have we hit 2,000 subs on 4 verts? We can check after we flash this $20 super chat from Agent Chartreuse. That'll be a wheel spin plus. No way. That's the next one. 2 tickets, pass it to the runner-up if I win. Thanks for being live. Shout out to Chartreuse, donating his tickets. So if he wins, we will whoever gets second place in the raffle race will get the jersey. Aaron Wolf in there as well. They cut Bobbitt. Oh, stop trying to troll me again. I'm not falling for that again. Cody Clapper. That's that. Nice try. Nice try. Herbert, 2025 first, 2026 third for Parsons. I mean, I'd probably do that. I don't think Dallas would, but they could use a running back. I mean, what is Herbert worth by himself? A 5th or 6th? So you're talking about a 1st, a 5th, and a 3rd. I think the second draft pick would at least need to be a 2. Just my gut feeling. Kim, you're in there. Shout out, Kim. Yeah, Cody Klopper, you're in there. $10, you're in there. All right, let me refresh the Bears website. Let's see if we've got anything yet. Nothing yet. Nothing yet. We're less than 200 away from a beer boot. Who is your favorite preseason player to watch, Eduardo asks. Honestly, probably Austin Booker. I mean, he was pretty fun to watch. I mean, obviously the Caleb reps were fun, but he didn't play a ton. So I would say Austin Booker. I don't know if you'd answer that the same way, Colin. Reddy Stewart's another one. I mean, he was fun. A lot of guys on the bubble were fun to watch. I felt like the bubble expanded throughout preseason.
Yeah,
I mean, guys rose to the occasion.
Yeah, Booker kind of was like the one that flashed like the most consistently, but I remember Collin Johnson breaking out in the Hall of Fame game. Like I remember Dante Pettis shaking dudes at the goal line. Like I remember Ian Wheeler going off, but
yeah. Wheeler was fun.
Booker was definitely the most consistent, I would say.
Bears legend P.J. Walker has been waived by Seattle.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Let
us know who your favorite player to watch in the preseason. Kyler Gordon, that one game was electric.
Yes, he was.
That was a good one. We're 1 sub away on 4 verts, Colin.
Yeah, we are.
I'm doing a beer bong for 2K. Whoever subs next is number 2,000. I'm going to go ahead and get one ready because I'm that confident that you guys are gonna deliver here. I'm that confident. Who's going to be number 2,000? Links in the chat. If you want daily NFL and college football coverage, check out my other show, 4 verts. Put out an Allen Robinson episode earlier, how he's gone from a top 10, top 15 receiver to out of the league in a matter of like 3 years. Got cut by the Giants today. So kind of dove into that a little bit. Hey! Thank you guys so much.
Appreciate that.
4 verts at 2,000 subscribers. Let's continue to grow that channel. Cheers.
Chug, 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 chug. Easy.
All right. Let's go. Oh, my gosh. Got like 20 new subs. And don't just subscribe and never remember it. Turn on the noties. Check out our daily episodes. I'm grinding away over there. Colin's helping me out as well, so show us some love. We appreciate it. Corey Griffin says, what would be your favorite cut to sign from another team now? I don't know if I could pick one right now. I mentioned Siaki Ika earlier. He was pretty terrible as a rookie, but third-round nose tackle from last year. I'm somewhat intrigued. I don't know. I'll look at the full list once they're in, but there's always – I'll say this. There's a couple punt returners that got cut. Jalen Darden, who you're familiar with, Colin, having gone to North Texas.
UNC legend.
He's an intriguing punt returner, depth receiver guy. Is he better than DeAndre Carter? I'm not sure. They're probably similar tier. But if they want to upgrade at punt returner, that could be an option if they think someone is out there. No Facebook, Lucas, just YouTube. We do have an Instagram handle, though. I'll throw that in the chat as well.
Yep.
4Verts on Instagram. Go give us a follow over there at 4VertsIG. But yeah, I'll examine the full list and we'll go from there.
Are we still waiting?
Still waiting.
Still
waiting. You wonder if some last-second trades are going to trickle through for some teams. Like we saw a couple. Who was obviously the Ernest Jones? Wasn't there the Chiefs traded for Peyton Hendershot?
Yeah.
And then wasn't there like a AFC East one, like a Bills?
Yeah, Bills traded for somebody.
Like a special teamer, I think. So, Harrison, what time does the roster go out? It's supposed to be right now. They're due. They've been submitted. We just haven't been told publicly what the Bears 53 is yet. Trying to remember last year if it happened right at 3 or if it was like 3:15. I'm not sure. We're 2 likes away from 500. We did cross 450, so I got to take a shot for that. But did we spin that wheel a second time, by the way?
Not a second time, so I'll get that ready.
We'll do that second one. Cheers, every 150 likes. We're taking shots. We got you, Physical. We're only 100 likes away from the next shot, which would be Cullen. So hit that like button. If you love the Bears, like this video, and let's get it. Austin Reed cut. Yes, he was cut. I mentioned him earlier.
Let's see what we get.
All right.
Okay. It's a shot clock.
Okay, so, yeah, for the next 2 minutes, you want to put a 2-minute shot clock up?
Yeah.
You can get into the jersey raffle for $5. Just one ticket for $5, but next 2 minutes, even if you already maxed out your tickets, like I know whoever sent in the 50 earlier, Jamal, for $5 you can enter the jersey raffle for the next 2 minutes, which at the end of the show, someone will win a Bears jersey, so $5 to enter. So there you have it. Kim says, great show as always. Appreciate it, Kim. Do not – yeah, I don't want Kadarius Toney. If he had reliable hands, I'd take him just as a punt returner, but he does not.
Oh, wrong way.
He does not. We're good.
Yeah, no, I know.
2 minutes. We got a few coming in here. You guys are getting some bonus time here. There you go.
Here we go.
We got the expert, Kurt, Michael Zaprinsky. You don't have to flash these right now, Colin. You can just jot them down if that's easier. Then we can flash them all later. And obviously we're going to keep an eye on the cuts here. I will shout out everybody who sends one in, though. Still no Bears list yet. The expert, Kurt, Michael Zaprinsky, Jason, David, Mike, Steven, Jeremy gets in there. That's just one, Jeremy, but we appreciate the 10. Physical gets in there. Shout out to the real ones. They're flying in now. Got a minute 20 left to enter. Minute 20 left. Still no word. Name a player in the chat on the bubble you want to make the 53. Let's go. Terrell Dudley, Jonathan, Buford. We got Al Sweet, Midwest Maverick, RC Gaming, Renifer 88. All rocking and rolling with us here. Begert Sports, 45 seconds. 45 seconds. Oh, Blasingame was released. But the plan is to bring him back after it processes an IR move. So it sounds like, Cullen, once Patrick Scales reverts to IR, they'll bring back Blasingame. So there you go. There's some news. All right, 5 seconds here. Nathan, Jim H as well. So Kari Blasingame's contract gets terminated, but as a veteran, he doesn't have to go to waivers, and they're going to bring him back after, I assume, Patrick Scales reverts to IR tomorrow. So, all right, shot clock is out. If any come in a little after the fact, we know YouTube's on a slight delay here. We will honor those as well. And Davey also gets a wheel spin. Davey, I set a max of 1 ticket, but you get a wheel spin out of that as well. I'll tell you what, since you sent in 25, 50% off, I'll give you 50% off the Hall of Fame here too. So Davey, you get a sticker. Shout out to Davey. Shout out Davey. Right there, Davey. Right there. All right. Plenty of time. Jake will be the last one, Cullen. So shout out to Cullen. I'll start reading some of these. He says, you think we'll keep 2 QBs on the practice squad? I think it's possible. With the 16-man practice squad, I could see them keeping both Brett Rypien and Austin Reed. Rypien could draw interest elsewhere, but we'll see. Zach Power says FGB. That's also a first-time super chatter. 2, 3, 4, 5. Shout out to Zachary Power. Jacob, jersey please. We got you in there, Jacob. Lefty says, what's your take on the defensive line, and who would you think would be best on left end? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, Sweat usually plays on the left side, which is against the right tackle, so I would expect that to continue. Jim H. with an FGB. Nathan with a $5. He says, I'm a huge Giants fan, but I'm super stoked to watch my man Caleb do some work for the Bears this season. That's what's up, Nathan. That's what's up. Eric with the 5, he's in there. Harley Bentz, Steven with the FGB. I mentioned Davey. James was a first-time super chatter as well. Shout out to James. A lot of teams' cuts are being announced. Not the Bears yet. Going to refresh the Bears website. Nothing yet. Nothing yet. Ritzy, Beegert Sports, Rentifer, RC Gaming, all of you guys. We got all yours in. Shout out to the real ones. We're also $3 away from 500, which would be a beer boot from me. So appreciate the love and support today. Appreciate the love and support. All right. Rick says Herbert has been cut. I have not seen that anywhere. I'm going to assume you were trolling me. Gonna assume you're trolling me. Come on, man. Where do y'all see Herbert? Because I'm not seeing that. Did y'all get got? Did y'all get got? Yeah, Herbert has not been cut. Come on, man. Don't be doing that. Don't be doing that. That would be a surprise. Like, I could see a trade. That wouldn't stun me, but a cut? Khalil Herbert's not getting cut. Too valuable. Too valuable. This is our Super Chat menu, and we'll honor Hets and Tails as well, Colin. That'll be the last one, the one that just came in. That's the cutoff. $10 is how you enter the jersey raffle. Our 50% off timer ran out. $20, we'll spin the roulette wheel, which we got to do still for Davey. We'll do that in a minute. $50 gets you into the Bears Now Helmet Hall of Fame. And then $500 total, which we just passed, is a beer boot for yours truly. So I'll get that knocked out before this live show ends. So continue to rock and roll with that. Some NFC North news. A.J. Dillon. Oh, season-ending IR for A.J. Dillon. Okay, so I guess that leaves them with Josh Jacobs and Marshawn Lloyd as their primary runners.
Yeah.
That's a pretty interesting one.
Very interesting.
Theo Benedict is not making this team, Zach.
We are all caught up, so thank you all for y'all's patience.
We're all caught up. Thank you, guys. I at least shouted out everybody's name, so.
I'm about to say I still have them all here if we want to just.
If you want to just, like, flash them while we talk, that's cool.
Yeah.
But, neck injury for Dylan.
So expert,
Kurt. Yeah, shout out Expert, Kurt, all the way through. Why'd they cut Collin? Because he got hurt after the Hall of Fame game and missed the rest of camp in the preseason. Got to stay healthy when you're on the bubble, man. Got to stay healthy. First time super chatter from Micah. We'll get to that one once Collin flashes all of these. Bring back Nathan Peterman. He should be QB1. Well, he was cut today.
I'm happy supers are working today. So I had to build.
Yeah, that's critical. I mean, you would not be building all these.
No.
Shout out to all the real ones. Appreciate y'all. Want to get y'all flashed on screen.
Oh, well, is it? Oh, no. Did I just jinx it?
Yeah, he's a vet, Timothy. So all it means is that they're going to re-sign him at the same contract. Blasingame. He doesn't have to go to waivers. Davey, we'll get your wheel spin here.
There it is.
Micah Hamilton, that's a new one as well with it being a 10. And first time super chatter. 2, 3, 4, 5. You get a raffle ticket as well. He says, love the show, boys. Appreciate that. We're still waiting. Oh, Lewis Seen got cut. Former first-round pick.
Interesting.
I knew he was on the bubble.
All right, so we've got one wheel spin or two?
One.
One, okay.
One wheel spin for Davey. And then, we crossed 600 likes, so that'll be a shot for Collin.
It will be. Let's see. All right, let's get that across. Right. I'll go ahead and take my shot here while we're spinning. Shout out to the real ones.
Oh, make that
like
two. Make that two.
All right.
There you go.
Easy money. All right.
Jake, you're not getting me a third time. Appreciate the donation, though. That's good stuff.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere, as some would say.
All right. Hit that sub button if you haven't already. We are in a holding pattern waiting for the Bears to unveil their 53-man roster. We're going to have you guys covered, so hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. We will have you guys covered as we await for the roster to be announced. So let's get to 2 subs away from another shot. I said every 50 subs here, we're launching away here. So if you want daily and free coverage, I'm going to throw sub-only chat on, by the way, as well. So if you want to get your comments through, got to subscribe. Make sure to keep the bots out as well. So hit that sub button. Once we get 2 more subs, I'm taking another shot. Jake, you're not getting me again. Fool me twice, shame on me. There's not going to be a third time. Shout out Jake. Johnny Dash, he gets in there on a super chat. He says, I'm psyched for this season, H. Graham. Do you think Jonathan Owens bounces between free and strong safety? Yeah, he's versatile. He can play both spots. Good tackler. He can cover well enough. He's perfect number 3 safety. He's not a high-level starter, but he can start in a pinch, and he's a good number 3 guy. So, yeah, I like that addition. Terrell Dudley gets 2 tickets and a wheel spin as we get rocking here. Oh, N'Keal Harry cut. Bears legend. Terrell says, I like Ryan Poles. Said it's time for the Bears to take the North and never get it back. FGB, F Minnesota, F Detroit. You heard the man. We'll spin that wheel for you in a sec, Terrell. Spin that wheel in a sec. Here we go. Let's see. Is that an IG one? All right. I'll put the link in the chat. You can just flash the L3 up if it's in there. Go check out 4Verts on Instagram as well. We told you about YouTube earlier. At 4VertsIG. Posting reels, posts, Instagram stories. DMs are open. Go check it out. I think we're almost at 200 followers on Instagram, so let's get to 200. Let's get to 200. We're 7 away. Help us out. Link is in the live chat. Stay on top of the NFL and college football world. All right, Jake, do you do fantasy football episode? I don't talk a ton of fantasy. If you guys have fantasy questions during the week, during the season, I'll answer them, but I don't do like specific fantasy segments really. I like fantasy. I'm in a couple leagues. Actually, I have a draft tonight, but I don't do specific segments. But Colin and I, we might talk a little fantasy on like Thursday live shows. We'll have a little fun with it. So, yeah, that's
I'm down.
I like fantasy. I don't like it as much as I used to. I've gotten more into sports betting, but yeah, that's how I feel about it. All right, Jake gets a wheel spin too here. Shout out to Jake. Let's see what's tickling the twine here. Ooh, a little shot for ya boy here. Shot for ya boy.
Shots. And then for likes, how many do we owe?
We're caught up. We're at 600. 750 will be the next shot, so we're close. Hit that like button. We got a couple more supers coming in here. Still waiting for the roster. I keep checking, not leaving you guys hanging. Just keep rocking with us here. As soon as it's in, I'll start reacting. Colin will get a couple of graphics ready to go. Then we'll take a deep dive into what happened. Void says, is Mercedes Lewis going to make it for blocking right? Not really a pass catcher. Yeah, he's your number 3 blocking tight end. He can, he could be a safety valve occasionally, but he's not going to be running seam patterns or anything like that. But yeah, he's going to make the team. He's an excellent run blocker. Jacob, bear down after cuts. Need to trade for Josh Sweat, the edge from Philly. Trade a 3rd or 4th and a player. I don't want to trade a day 2 pick potentially and a player for Josh Sweat. I like Josh Sweat. I'm chilling for now. That feels like a deadline type of trade. You don't need to force the issue right now, in my opinion. Okay, every time my phone vibrates, I'm like, is that it? But nothing yet.
Not quite.
Subscribe if you haven't. We cover Bears news in real time. Usually we go live on Mondays and Thursdays at 5 o'clock Eastern, 4 Central Time, but we went live today at 2:30 to get you ready for roster cuts, and it's been almost 25 minutes since the deadline passed, and we still don't have a final 53. So that's where we sit right now, and if you want daily coverage tomorrow, we got the waiver wire at 12 Eastern. I don't think we'll go live for that, but we'll have a video reaction if the Bears make any claims. I might do some waiver wire targets as well, either tonight or in the morning. So lots to come here on Bears Now. Do not miss out on any of it. Vikings cut Tonyan. Not surprising because Robert Tonyan is kind of a cooked product. Let's be honest. He wasn't very good last year. Oh, man.
I for a half second thought I saw something, and then I checked the date and realized it was the 9 players they had already cut. So.
Yeah, nothing yet. I keep refreshing the website. It's just the Bears waived 9 players. That was the one from last night. So, nothing yet. Nothing yet.
I mean, it's great that we're chilling. I mean, we're
having a good time.
We're having a good time.
I guess I can knock this boot out. Might as well.
I mean, or do you want to wait till if we get to 1,000, I join you?
That's an option. We're at 590. 590. You want to make a little compromise? 800?
800? Okay.
800, we'll do a race. If we get to 800 total, Colin and I will both do a boot. If not, I'll just knock one out. We're at 590, so 210 away from 800 if you guys want to see a beer boot race happen. But we'll kind of wait and see here. Here is our Super Chat menu. If you're a first-time Super Chatter, I'll do 5 jumping jacks for you guys. Colin's fixing one thing, and then there you go, beer boot race for 800. $10 could still get in the jersey raffle, get up to 5 tickets or 6 if you took advantage of the 50% off deal earlier. $20 spin the roulette wheel. $50 gets you a sticker in the Bears Now Helmet Hall of Fame. Almost got this bad boy filled. We'll be raffling that bad boy out week 1, and then 800 total, which we're almost at 600. We'll do a beer bong race, but yeah, Frank Gore Jr. cut William by the Bills, so he was cut. Christian Barmore onto the NFI list, designated to return, so he'll miss some time. What else we got here? Be nice to get some news, Cullen. And by news, I mean the full roster.
You would think. Excuse me.
Not seeing anything yet.
Nothing. 25
Come on,
minutes.
If you guys have any questions, hashtag Bears or Super Chat. We could shoot the shit, obviously. Super Chat guarantees to get on the show. We can get a few Hashtag Bears question. Sosa says, what do you think about Malik Willis to Green Bay? I think he's better than Sean Clifford. Beyond that, not much. Thought he looked a little better this preseason. So, Dylan says, Harrison, my dad's birthday is next week, and I'm going to get him a signed jersey of a Bears player. Who should I get him? I mean, it kind of depends what your budget is, if I'm being honest. Certain signed jersey you can find for $100, $150. Other ones you can, they might cost $500, $700. Like you find an old Walter Payton signed jersey, it's going to cost. So it really depends on what your budget is, but there's some good ones out there, no doubt about it. Javon Thomas says, if Caleb's first touchdown is to Rome, who keeps the ball? I've seen this debate go on Twitter. I saw someone say cut the football in half. That'd be kind of funny. I don't know. That's a good question. What do you guys think? Caleb, Rome, cut in half. C for Caleb, R for Rome, H for cut in half. Let us know. Let us know what you guys think. Yeah, just whatever's available. Still waiting for cuts to come in, be announced. This is getting to be a little diabolical at this point. Caleb said in an interview, oh, you know what? I think I did see that. I think he did say that. Caleb also has his first preseason touchdown from that scrambled one. So in that scenario, maybe he would just keep that and keep his own first touchdown after Rome gets it. So that'd be cool. Yeah, I do remember seeing that now. Man, it'd be nice. Craig Braggs, who's a funny follow on Twitter, said, if the Bears do not release the roster in the next 5 minutes, I will not tweet for the rest of the year. Final warning. No chance he follows through with that if they don't tweet it in the next 5 minutes. Guy tweets all the time. Good dude, though. We got your Roms. Parsons for a first rounder, Mark says. I mean, if it was just one first, that's kind of a no-brainer. I would do that in a heartbeat. I think Dallas would ask for 2 firsts. Maybe the compromise is a 1, a 2, and like a day 3 pick. Something like that. Hit that like button if you guys haven't already. We're 10 likes away from 750. That'd be another shot from me. Someone's saying Valus cut. Y'all are just trolling me now, man. Oh, Brendan Bates got cut.
So we're getting the official list now? Bates is cut.
Man. Nah, Biggs just had the tweet of that one. I got to say, I disagree with that one.
So that means Blasingame might... Well,
I still think it still sounds like he's getting caught. That kind of makes me think if they're cutting them both initially, I think 7 corners are making it.
Maybe.
Right?
Makes sense.
That's what I think. That one kind of stings. Give us your thoughts on that one. I got to fix something in the in my copy here, Colin. Got to take Bates out of my projection here. You want to get some shout-outs to the peeps?
Yeah.
Talk with them a little bit?
Yeah, I got you.
One-word reaction to Bates getting cut.
Yeah, one word. I want to chop it up. I got you.
I'm surprised.
Yeah.
I'm a little surprised by that. I thought they would carry 4 tight ends. Big says they would like to keep him on the practice squad, but multiple teams have expressed interest. I wonder if they tried to flip him for like a late-round pick.
I don't know.
That's interesting.
Very interesting.
All right, give me a second, guys.
Yeah, I'm seeing Zachary saying surprise, Rolly saying unfortunate. Shout out to you, Rolly, for tuning in here. Jonathan disappointing. Mark says competitive. Foxtrot says weak.
Someone says, I wanted Sidney Sweeney.
I mean, who doesn't?
You heard Colin.
Who doesn't?
You heard Colin.
Oh, man.
All right. We got a 10 from Sarcastic. First timer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That gets us right at 600, so 200 away from a beer bong race. He says, first-time super chatter from Chicago. What position would you like the Bears to draft with their first pick next year? I mean, it's hard to say without seeing how this year plays out, but it feels like the trenches are going to be an area of focus. Interior offensive lineman, potentially left tackle, depending on how Braxton Jones plays. Defensive lineman, whether it's an edge or defensive tackle. Those are all positions that are a possibility. I wouldn't rule out a wide receiver if Keenan Allen's gone, if there's someone they just really like. But, without knowing how this year plays out, those are a few positions I would say. I'd like to get an edge, high-level edge, to pair with Montez Sweat, but who knows? Maybe Austin Booker's awesome this year, and he's a starter next season. Oh, so I got this right. Jacob Martin onto short-term IR.
Okay.
So I hit that one. Do you want to update those cuts on the graphic with Kari Blasingame and Brendan Bates? Obviously, Blasingame's coming back, but just from a literal standpoint, got to mention that. So here, where do I can put him in here for you.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Brendan Bates. So that completes that one list 10 where cut 9 and 10 were. Trade bagel for a bagel. Here's our super chat menu. How's Douglas Coleman III? He got out of the hospital. He was waived, but is expected to revert to IR. I don't think a team's going to pick him up, obviously. So with the injury, but so he'll be able to rehab with the Bears, which will be good. That'll be good. So Brendan Bates, Kari Blasingame cut, Jacob Martin short-term IR. So on the defensive line depth chart, Cullen, you know where that extra note column is that you can put? Put an asterisk after Martin's name and then designate him short-term IR in that extra column. Just star equals short-term IR, short-term IR. So that is where things sit right now. We hit 750 likes. So that's a shot. That's a shot. Hope Doug Kramer and Reddy Stewart and Daniel Hardy make it. They're alive as of now. They're alive as of now. So they're in the mix. Someone says I'm ready, spelling out Reddy's name for the full 53. Aren't we all? Aren't we all? Shout out Jared for the 5. Appreciate the donation, Jared. Gets us to 605. Shout out Jared. Yeah, Rypien was cut. Midnight, Harrison, can you send me a taco? I'm hungry. I don't have any tacos on me, but if I did, I'd hook you up, man. I would hook you up. Seabass with the 10. You get a raffle ticket. We caught up on raffles before him. Cool. Shout out Seabass. He says, Bears going 20-0, FGB. How about 24-0 after the preseason? That'd be amazing. Could you imagine if the Bears went 24-0? Be the greatest team in NFL history. That'd be amazing. Someone in the chat, Bill F. and Murray. Is there an update? I think he's going to make the team, man. I think once Tyree Carter was cut, that was kind of a signal that he was making it. So that's my take on it, at least. Let's go. Let's go. Let's see. Refreshing the Bears website. Nothing yet. Yeah. We'll fix it later because he's going to come back, but just for the standpoint of now. Bears reportedly interested in Lewis Seen. I don't know if you're just making that up or not. They're pretty deep at safety. Like, who are you going to cut? I guess you could cut Elijah Hicks for him if you think Seen can play special teams, but if the Vikings are moving on from a first-round pick just a year or two late, a couple years later, that kind of tells you the type of player he is. Bud Lightyear, you get a raffle ticket, says, did you see the Manti Te'o comparing Caleb to Steph Curry? I saw that circulating. I haven't watched the clip yet, but yeah, Manti Te'o was getting dragged because someone in the replies said Caleb Williams reminds Manti Te'o of his ex-girlfriend because he's unreal. That was tough. That was a little tough. But Daniel, I already owe you guys Das Boot, but if we get to 800, Collin's gonna join me. We're at 625 right now, so if you guys want to see us race, there you go. There you go. So with Bates cut, Collin, Martin to IR, Blasingame cut as well. I think that gets us down to 62. I think we're down to 62. So there's nine spots to work through. One more player I think will go on IR. I think it'll be Larry Borum. So let's just say that's the case, 61. Then there's 8 guys to cut. 8 guys at that point. 625 in Super Chat donations, Bear Force. Velus safe if Blasingame. Yeah, I think Velus is safe, guys. I think Velus Jones is on this team. We'll circulate back through the cuts here of what we know so far as Collin was getting a couple of updates in there. These are some of the ones from before. Nothing really new there. Some of the next page of cuts came in today with Byron Cowart, Collin Johnson, Brett Rypien, and Jake Curran. A few more here. Cameron Lyons, the long snapper with Patrick Scales, who's been hurt. Stephen Carlson, Adrian Colbert, Corliss Waitman, Kari Blasingame, Aviante Collins, Leon Jones, Deshaun Mallory, Austin Reed, Brendan Bates coming in there as well. So that's where we sit right now. A couple other notes. Blasingame expected to come back after waiver wire hits tomorrow because they're going to have to put Patrick Scales on short-term IR, it sounds like. And then Jacob Martin also on short-term IR. So, yeah, you look at the defensive line depth chart. Put it on the back end of their name, but that's Martin designated for short-term IR at this point. Broncos released Samaje Perine, Tim Patrick, Lil Jordan Humphrey, and David Sills. Bears have good depth at receiver, but I like Tim Patrick. I'm a little intrigued. He'd be a decent backup for Rome Odunze. He's got good size. Would you take Tim Patrick, chat? Y for yes, in for no? Y for yes, in for no? Tim Patrick? I'm going to tweet this out. I like Tim Patrick. I doubt they'll sign him. I bet he'll go somewhere where he has a quicker path to playing, but I could be a good backup to Rome. Oh, Max Reynolds getting us closer to 800, Collin.
That he is.
He gets a Hall of Fame sticker, 5 raffle tickets as well. Chance to win a jersey, $10 to enter, max of 5 tickets. So if you drop 50, you are good to go. Max R, shout out to you. Bear down, FGB, he says. Let's get it. Someone says Pettis making the 53. Decent chance. I think with them carrying 3 tight ends, Collin, you would think 6 receivers is the play. I think both Pettis and Carter make it.
That could be a thing. You want to... Here, we can show the wide receiver depth chart, actually.
Yeah, we can flash our wide receiver depth chart. The Bears are already down to 6, so they're either going to keep all 6 of these guys or they would cut one of Pettis or Carter. Now, Pettis got banged up recently. Could he be the other short-term IR candidate? That's certainly possible, but if I had to guess right now, this is probably your 6 guys that make the 53. I mean, Pettis had a really good game against the Bengals. A couple of nasty routes to get into the end zone. So, someone says DeAndre Carter is done. We'll see. We'll see. We're 125 away from 800. If y'all want to see a beer boot race. This is kind of crazy. I don't remember it taking this long. But we're hanging out. Hardy is going to make it. We'll see. With Martin reverting to IR, that's a possibility.
So, just by my count, and I'm double checking with you, we have 10 roster spots or 10 cuts left with 2 designated to IR, right?
Well, we were at 65 before this latest round, right?
So 61.
So Bates got cut, Blasingame got cut.
Yep.
Who else got cut?
Jacob Martin designated
Martin to IR, so that gets us to 62.
Okay.
So that's 9 more spots. You would assume 1 more to IR, so 61. So 8 more cuts. Pull up those bubble graphics again. I know a couple of them might have been cut, but just for the standpoint of kind of analyzing who's still in the mix here. These are the cuts that have happened, but when you look at the roster bubble, which we'll get to here, obviously Blasingame, so the news around Blasingame, he's getting cut, but he's going to come back after the Bears waiver wire period hits tomorrow at 11. Sounds like they'll put Patrick Scales on short-term IR then. So he's going to come back. Brendan Bates was cut, so he's no longer in the mix. So I think the safe players on this screen are Velus Jones. I think both Carter and Pettis make it. I think Matt Pryor, Bill Murray both make it. I think Kramer's probably going to make it too. One of Dom Robb or Daniel Hardy makes it. I'm not sure which one. I've guessed Dominique Robinson, although I'd rather have Daniel Hardy. As you get to the next page here, Jacob Martin is a short-term IR guy, so he's out of the mix for now. Sewell and Baskerville at linebacker. The 3 corners, do they keep all 7? After Jalen Johnson, Tyreek Stevenson, Kyler Gordon, and Terrell Smith, do they keep Blackwell, Jones, and Stewart? Elijah Hicks, Tarvarius Moore. So still a few guys. Oh, here we go. It just went out. Larry Borum, short-term IR. So we nailed that, Collin. We nailed that. All right, so let's work through this here. I'm going to read the cuts just so you guys are informed. Austin Reed, Brendan Bates, Theo Benedette, Jake Curran, Jamry Chroma, Deshaun Mallory, Micah Baskerville. Baskerville didn't make it, guys. Carl Jones Jr., Leon Jones, Reddy Stewart, Ro Torrance, Cameron Lyons, Corliss Waitman, Brett Rypien, Kari Blasingame, who's expected to come back, Collin Johnson, Stephen Carlson, Aviante Collins, Byron Cowart, Greg Stroman Jr., Adrian Colbert, Tarvarius Moore was cut as well. Dante Pettis, long-term IR. Sounds like he's done for the year, according to Kevin Fishbane. So that was via him. I'm going to go to the Bears' actual website now, cross-check all of that. But it sounds like that's where things sit. So, yeah, so Larry Borum, Jacob Martin, Dante Pettis on IR. Borum and Martin designated to return, Collin. So Pettis is done for the year.
Wow. Okay.
So that means DeAndre Carter's the 5th running back. Or 5th receiver, excuse me. That means Travis Homer made it too. Travis Homer made it. Get a couple tweets out here. Do a double star, put out for a year for him. So there you have it. Sewell over Baskerville. They're going draft pick there. I disagree with that. But what are you going to do? Yeah, they kept Dom Robb too. Wait, it looks like, though, they also kept Daniel Hardy. right? I'm not seeing him mentioned with the cuts. Yeah, Hardy made it. So they went pretty heavy at defensive line then. Okay, so do you have that graphic with to list out the rest of the cuts? I can kind of talk you through them real quick. It's Tarvarius Moore, safety. I can kind of here. There's one. Byron Cowart. I think we have most of these because they did short-term IR. The 2 IRs to return. Give me a second here. Got those. I feel like this math is still off, though. Oh, Theo Benedette got cut. That was another one. The 3 guys, the expected cuts, Collin, they all got cut. Those 3 that were left, so you can copy those over, or you can just use that list as the last one and expand on it if you want. Add Tarvarius Moore to that one. Oh, Reddy Stewart got cut. He's the other one. So that's the roster. That's the roster. Valus makes the team. Travis Homer makes the team. Let me see. Tarvarius Moore, Theo Benedette, Jamry Chroma, Ro Torrance, Reddy Stewart, Larry Borum. Put is that a 3, 4, 5? Is that 7? Sorry. Put short term in front of these because Pettis is done. That'll be a list 8. But yeah, that gets us there. That gets us there. All right, we're going to break this down here in a few moments. Colin's just got to get a few graphics in order here. Depth chart updated on the website. Okay, that's good to know. Let me see. Which website? The Bears website or ESPN? What was y'all's biggest surprise? So we kept 5 running backs over cutting Homer and keeping Bates. That's my thing too, Cody. It's like because they're bringing Blasingame back, so they're gonna have 5 running backs and a fullback. That seems redundant to me. Feels redundant to me. I understand he's a good special teamer, Luke, but like he's never going to play on offense ever. You can't find someone who can give you 85 to 90% of his special teams productivity. That just feels weird to me. Feels weird to me. Booker over Walker's the day one starter. I think Walker's your starter early on with Booker and Darrell Taylor rotating in a lot. Someone says Valus Jones at receiver. I mean, he'll be as a running back receiver hybrid, I would think. Al Sweet says, what's your biggest surprise for the 53 in cuts? Who do you want on the Bears next year who is not? My daughter loves the duck races. I want that jersey. We'll get you in there, Al Sweet. Eric, appreciate that as well. Jacob, Reddy in Baskerville. That makes me sad. Yeah, I thought they both made strong cases. Al Sweet, we got you in there. As far as biggest surprise goes, I don't know if I'm shocked by any of it, but I'll tell you what, actually. I'm a little surprised they kept both Dom Rob and Daniel Hardy. So that means you kept how many edges? Sweat? Walker is hybrid, so if you're not counting him, Sweat, Booker, Dom Rob, Hardy, and then I guess Walker's your fifth who's a hybrid. So, okay, I guess it's not crazy with Jacob Martin going to short-term IR. Someone says Velas messes up one time this season. He's gone. We'll see. He gets another chance here. Cade says, do you think they trade Herbert now with all the running backs? I don't know. Maybe that's a possibility. Who knows? Oh, Darrell Taylor, duh. Yeah, so Sweat, Taylor, Booker, Hardy, Dom Rob, and DeMarcus Walker, 6 edges if you count Walker. So you're heavy at defensive end and running back. Interesting. Caleb, we're working on some graphics right now. We'll get it all in there. I was going to say, I could help with the depth charts if needed. Okay. Herbert trade incoming. I'm not sure. How about this? After we analyze the full roster, we'll take your questions. So if you have any roster questions, hashtag Bears or Super Chat, we'll get those answered on the show. Hashtag Bears or Super Chat to get those questions answered. Cade, appreciate that. Do you think they trade Herbert now? We've been talking about that. I don't know. I don't think they're just going to trade him, but if they get a decent offer, maybe they will. Joe O'Donnell says Dom Rob had to make it. He's like 275 now, 30 pounds on Booker and Hardy. Only backup who can set the edge against the run. You had to keep him. I'm sorry. I get what you're saying from you needed another run-stopping defensive or edge rusher. That's fine. I can't live in a world where you had to keep Dominic Robinson. Like, if you really needed to get an edge rusher that could stop the run, I'm sure you could have found someone else. And I'm fine with keeping him, but, I'm not going to be handicapped if I'm a GM by Dominic Robinson. He just has not shown you enough as a run stopper or a pass rusher. Even if he's a slightly better run stopper than some of the other options, I just don't think – if he was that good at stopping the run, why was he inactive for 10 weeks last year? You know what I'm saying? So, 7 edges with Jacob Martin. Yeah, if they activate Martin at some point, that probably means Hardy or Robinson or someone would get cut at that point. Or someone's injured or whatever. Say what? Okay. You want to just, you feel good about the graphics being ready to go? I mean, we just flash that last listicle. We know the other ones are good. Just the one you just made. Joe. Here, flash Joe here real quick. My bad. Just get him on screen. Appreciate Joe. We answered that question. But, yeah, I disagree. But, yeah, I get it. But I personally wouldn't have done it. Okay, so this was the last batch of roster maneuvering. Tarvarius Moore, Theo Benedette, Jamry Chroma, Ro Torrance, Reddy Stewart. What's up? Short term, yeah. Thumbnails in. Copy is. There's a couple things I got to fix real quick. I put it all in there. Yeah. Jacob Martin, short term IR. They can both return, and then Dante Pettis is the last piece. So, there you have it. That's where things sit. Yeah. 1 second here. Yeah. Talk to them for just a second here. Finalizing one final thing, guys. Then we'll go.
We'll get Harry back on screen, but yeah, we're about to get in the cut, guys. So yeah, if you got any questions, feel free to let them fly. The real saucy: do you trade Herbert to the Packers if they send a 4th-round pick since Dylan is hurt? I don't know if I'm even allowed to talk about that possibility on this channel, but I mean, It depends on what Khalil Herbert gets, man. Fourth-round pick ain't bad for Khalil Herbert at all. Listen, I think he's a starting caliber running back in this league. So depending on where the market tells you he's valued, you at least have to listen, potentially. So.
Yeah, completely agree. All right, that looks ready to go. Bears from earlier. All right, here we go. I'm ready to rock and roll, Cullen. We're going to react to the initial roster. Got a couple graphics together for you guys. And afterwards, we will take your questions. So hashtag Bears or Super Chat. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. Just throw up like a generic weigh-in, like shout out your city, or just work one in there. I'm good with the other ones. Let's just get the cut in, and then we will be good to go. So appreciate everybody for your patience. The Bears took forever, but it is now in there. So here we go. 19 subs away from 97,600. Appreciate the love and support. Let's react to the Bears' 53-man roster. I'm Harrison Graham. The Chicago Bears have unveiled its initial 53-man roster for 2024. Things, of course, will change with the waiver wire tomorrow. We'll get some practice squad news as well, but going to react to that, plus reveal the full list of cuts and a couple of IR designations also. So stay tuned here. Let's dive into it. This was the full list of roster cuts here, kind of rapid fire. Keith Randolph Jr., Tommy Sweeney, Douglas Coleman, Nsimba Webster, Ian Wheeler. Those three players will revert to IR if they're not picked up. Khalid Kareem, Jatiri Carter, Jerome Carvin, Javin White, Paul Moala, Quindell Johnson, Michael Dwumfor, Jalen Hutchings, Peter LeBlanc, Carl Jones Jr., John Jackson, Byron Cowart, Collin Johnson, Brett Rypien, Jake Curran. Some of the more recent ones coming in: Cameron Lyons, Stephen Carlson, Adrian Colbert, Corliss Waitman, Kari Blasingame, Aviante Collins, Leon Jones, Deshaun Mallory, Austin Reed, Brendan Bates. I was a little surprised by that one. Tarvarius Moore, so they're only keeping 4 safeties. Theo Benedette, Jamery Chroma, Ro Torrance, Reddy Stewart does not make it, so only 4 safeties and 6 corners, 10 defensive backs. Larry Borum and Jacob Martin, short-term IR. They are designated to return. They can return as early as week 5. Dante Pettis out for the year on long-term IR for a second straight season, so definitely a bummer for him. Before we get to the 53 guys that made it and some of my thoughts and reaction, subscribe to the channel. This is why you sub to Bears Now here. If you want the latest Bears news, rumors, reaction, and a whole lot more, hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications. We got you covered here on this show. Be sure to rock and roll with us here on this channel. All right, 2 quarterbacks, Caleb Williams and Tyson Bagent. Both Brett Rypien and Austin Reed got cut. I think both are practice squad candidates, but I don't think a huge surprise here. Rypien could get some interest around the league to be a backup somewhere, but if not, I would expect the Bears to throw him decent practice squad money. And I think they like Reed enough to continue developing him on the practice squad, but only 2 on the initial 53 here. You go to the running back position now, 5 guys. We'll talk about Kari Blasingame in a second, but DeAndre Swift, Khalil Herbert, Roschon Johnson, Travis Homer makes it, so does Velus Jones. Now, Velus, of course, could be a wide receiver. He's a hybrid. He's going to be your kick returner as well. Kari Blasingame got cut, but he's a veteran, so he's not subject to waivers. Brad Biggs reported that the expectation is that Patrick Scales, who's injured, was on the initial 53 here. He will revert to short-term IR tomorrow, since they already had to designate 2 other players, Borum and Jacob Martin, and then they will bring Blasingame back. So the plan is to bring back Blasingame, and I got to say, 5 running backs and a fullback, even if you don't want to call Velus a full running back, like, feels a little redundant to me. Like, is Travis Homer that special on special teams? I don't know. And to keep Blasingame and value him over Brendan Bates, I got to say, I'm a little surprised by that. Not shocked, but just a little bit surprised, and perhaps something that I would have disagreed with. But it is what it is. I don't think it's earth-shattering in terms of the Bears' chances to win or lose this year. All right, let's go to wide receiver now, as the Bears are keeping 5, as Dante Pettis is out for the year, not even on short-term IR, long-term IR. So that's a bummer. We'll see if he's later waived with an injury designation if he gets healthy. But DJ Moore, Keenan Allen, Rome Odunze, Tyler Scott, who are all locks. And then DeAndre Carter, which I think pretty clearly means for now he's your punt returner. We'll see if the Bears scour the waiver wire for a potential receiver out there, either at the receiver position or for a return specialist. I think Carter's the best option to be your punt returner right now, especially if you're not going to put Rome Odunze back there, which clearly I don't think they are. So for now, they are going to go with 5 receivers with Carter as the punt returner. If you love the Bears, like this video, hit that like button. If you are a Chicago Bears fan, we should get hundreds of likes on today's show. Show support, show love if you are a Bears fan. Only 3 tight ends. I was a little surprised by this, just knowing Shane Waldron and his history and background. We knew these 3 would make it, so that's not a surprise with Cole Kmet, Gerald Everett, and Mercedes Lewis. But the Bears are expected to run a lot of 12, some 13 personnel, which is 2-3 tight end sets. I would anticipate one, if not both, Steven Carlson and Brendan Bates are back on the practice squad, but Biggs reported that Bates has drawn interest, so he could get claimed. I thought he performed well enough to make the team, and I would have kept him over Blasingame because I think he could have handled the fullback duties while also giving you a little bit more juice as a pass catcher, especially if an injury pops up. But they did not agree with me, and that is the direction they went in. Again, am I going to freak out over a 4th tight end getting cut? No, but I thought he was worthy of keeping on this roster, but the Bears decided to stick with the 3 that we knew were going to make it all along. Before we get to the offensive line, make sure to get going with our sponsor, Game Time. Get off the couch this football season and go to your favorite sporting events, concerts, comedy shows, and a whole lot more. Game Time is going to hook you up with the best tickets available and the lowest prices guaranteed. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use code CHATSPORTS. It's all one word, CHATSPORTS, to get $20 off your first purchase only. Terms do apply there. Cubs are hot right now. They're making moves, trying to make it in the NL wild card. And go check out a White Sox game. And, of course, the Bears Week 1 action against the Tennessee Titans a mere 12 days away. Get going with Game Time. Views from the seats within the app. Super deals where they highlight the best bang for your buck at certain events. It's awesome. It's Game Time. Last-minute tickets, lowest prices guaranteed. Code CHATSPORTS, $20 off that first purchase only. Terms apply. What time is it? Oh, yeah. It's Game Time, baby. Go check them out. All right, let's go to the offensive line now. Pretty heavy here. The main note, Larry Borum, short-term IR. I predicted that. I thought that would be the case, so he can return in Week 5 potentially. But they still keep 10 guys. And I think you had to keep Doug Kramer because Ryan Bates has been banged up, and you need a backup center early in the year if Bates can't go. And quite honestly, Kramer played pretty well. He earned it. I would say if there was a surprise of training camp that ended up making this team, someone I did not expect to make this roster going in, I mean, remember, they cut Kramer last year. He was on another team. They brought him back this offseason, and he makes the 53. Good for him. He looks improved. He looks stronger. They kept Bill Murray over Jatiri Carter. He had a good training camp. So you've got options on the interior there. So 10 offensive linemen, 11 if you count Borum on the short-term IR. So they kept a lot of the big fellas up front. Just like they did on the defensive line. A lot of guys, especially at edge. Couple of notes. Jacob Martin, short-term IR. He can return Week 5. But they kept 6 edges outside of Martin. Now, Walker could kick inside, and with only 4 DTs on the team, he probably will some. But Montez Sweat, DeMarcus Walker, Darrell Taylor, who you just traded for, Austin Booker, Dominique Robinson, and Daniel Hardy. That's a surprise to me that both of them made it. I wonder if the Bears put out a claim or two, if one of those guys would be the cut. I would guess they would be, since you're so heavy at edge. But they both make it initially. And quite frankly, I'm happy Hardy made it. I thought he earned it in the preseason. Outside of Booker, I thought he was your most consistent pass rusher throughout the preseason. So good for him. But other than that, I'm a little surprised they went that heavy at edge and running back. That's a little interesting. Linebacker, Baskerville got cut, so we'll take him off of there. But the other 5 made it. They essentially have Noah Sewell making it over Micah Baskerville. So your top 3, TJ Tremaine, Jack Sanborn, Eamon Agbagbamiga. There goes Micah. Just kind of sad to see him fade into the abyss there. Noah Sewell. To me, this is simple. They opted to go with the guy they drafted over Baskerville. I personally disagree with it. I think this year you're trying to win. Now, look, maybe Sewell is that much more impactful on special teams. As good as Baskerville has looked at linebacker, he's probably your 5th best one. So 2 guys would have to get hurt. So if Sewell's a clear better player on special teams, I'm fine with it. All I know is when they both have played linebacker, Baskerville has looked like the better player. So, I could see him getting a shot somewhere else. Hopefully he clears waivers and returns to the practice squad. He's a guy I would continue to invest into, but I'm a little disappointed by that one. But again, you always have to remember special teams in these matters, and Sewell played a decent amount last year on special teams. 6 corners, the guys I projected. I was rooting for Reddy Stewart, but he does not make it. Your 3 starters there. Terrell Smith was a lock. They're opting to go with guys who have been here, and I can't blame them. Jalen Jones, Josh Blackwell, they've been core special teamers. They've both gotten real snaps at corner as well. I thought Reddy Stewart had a hell of a preseason. We'll see if he clears waivers or not. If he does, he will definitely return to the practice squad. But Greg Stroman got cut as well, so it's just a crowded room, man. I mean, I think Stroman could sign with another team as a vested vet. That wouldn't shock me at all. But 6 corners at the end of the day. Kind of interesting you go both 6 corners and 6 edge rushers. Typically you'd go heavier at corner, but that is not the way they went, although 6 is still a good amount. All right, grade the moves by Ryan Poles today. How would you grade his roster decisions, A, B, C, D, or F? I'm fine with it for the most part. Again, we always end up griping about players 50, 51, 52, 53. Does it really have a huge impact on the season? It's hard to say. I'd give it a B+. There's a couple things I would have done differently, but don't have a huge gripe. Safety here, just 4. Kevin Byard, Jaquan Brisker. Jonathan Owens is your 3rd safety, and then Elijah Hicks, who's going to play a lot on special teams. I thought all 4 of these guys would make it. I had Adrian Colbert as a 5th safety, but the Bears did not. They also cut Tarvarius Moore, who had a good preseason, so we'll see if one or both of those guys could return to the practice squad. But 6 corners, 4 safeties, so 10 DBs in total. And then special teams, Cairo Santos, Torrey Taylor, Patrick Scales. Again, Scales is going to go to short-term IR. It's been reported he's going to be out until mid-late October, and then they're going to bring back Kari Blasingame. That tells me what they're going to do, at least probably early on, is sign a long snapper to the practice squad, elevate him for game day the first few weeks. But if Scales is truly out till October, you're going to have a few more games to piece together. So we'll see if a guy like Cameron Lyons returns to the 53 or something like that. But as of now, that is where things sit with the 53-man roster. And again, this is the initial roster. Big day tomorrow. Waiver claims due at 11 a.m. Central. You've got practice squad signings that are going to take place as well. Lots to come when it comes to Ryan Poles, Matt Eberflus in this roster building. I don't think this will be the 53 we see. In fact, I know it won't be because Blasingame is going to be back and Scales is going to be out. So there's going to be at least one shift there. But busy 20 or so hours to come. So be sure to lock us in, subscribe to the channel, and bear down as always, baby. 53 initial roster is set. All right. There you have it. Still wouldn't say any stunners, but a couple things I would have done differently. But I'm not in that building every day, so there you have it. Sabert says not the biggest fan. Yeah, I can't give it an A just based on what I personally would have liked, but again, it's kind of like, I don't know. We always do this, Collin, with the end of the 53, and then it's like very rarely does a guy that gets cut like goes somewhere else and like plays a major role. Now, could someone contribute somewhere? I could see Greg Stroman contributing somewhere.
Maybe.
But I think that speaks to how deep this roster has gotten. Trouble says bring back Allen Robinson. He's cooked, man. At least he seems to be.
Yeah, sorry about the Baskerville thing.
Oh, you're good.
How about this question?
Okay, yeah, I like this. Who was the best Bears player to get cut? Just best pure player. I would say the best pure player that got cut, based on proven in this league, etc., I'd probably say Stroman. I know people are going to say Reddy Stewart, but we've seen Greg Stroman play in real NFL games and be solid. He was really good against Washington last year. So I'd probably have to pick him. Adrian Colbert, Tarvarius Moore, guys who have played as well in this league. Why, Homer, why? I don't know. I'm guessing Richard Hightower pushed for him for special teams. They must really like what he brings to the table. I think it's got to be Stroman. I'll predict it right now. I think he signs to another team's 53. Team like the Giants, pretty thin at corner. I could see him going to another 53. Would I choose Stroman over Stewart? See, that's a different question because they're both like your 5th, 6th, 7th best corner. I might go Stewart, Caleb, because he's younger. You know what I'm saying? For the Bears, I might go Stewart. In a vacuum, I'd probably go Stroman, especially, just if I need a guy to play tomorrow because he's proven. He's played on Sundays before. Thoughts on keeping 6 edges? 7 with Martin on short-term IR. Feels a little heavy. Here's another prediction, Colin. I think there's at least a 50-50 chance one of Hardy or Robinson is gone tomorrow. Like they claim somebody and they cut him.
I could see that as well. I don't think the polls is done by any means.
No. He'll put out a couple claims, I bet. Not as many as the last 2 years, but I think he'll put out, 2 to 3. See if he gets any. All right, we'll take your questions now. Hashtag Bears or Super Chat. Do want to mention that we do have a jersey raffle opportunity for anyone just joining us. $10 to enter at the end of the stream. We will do our raffle drawing. Second note, we are less than $100 away, or $98 away from 800 in Super Chats. Round of applause to all of you. If we hit 800, though, Cullen's going to join me in a beer boot race. If not, I'll go solo. So those are a couple of things. After this mailbag, we're kind of it'll kind of be last call time. So if you want to get in on that raffle, this is the time to do it. And also, get those questions in. Hashtag Bears or Super Chat to get your questions on the show. Hashtag Bears or Super Chat. And we'll get it popping here.
Yeah, we've got one question so far.
Yeah, we need more, especially after the cuts. I know there was a few from earlier, but a lot of those have expired. So I see Ethan has one. Davey has one. Mr. Cotton Wax has one. Here, I'll turn sub-only chat off. It's possible a few people's questions aren't coming through, although you should subscribe. Why would you not want to? Free Daily Bears content, baby. Free Daily Bears content. Anything that stood out to you, Colin?
I'm not going to lie. Baskerville, I really thought was going to make it. And the fact that they kept Sewell as well, that was kind of one where
unless he's significantly better on special teams, it's hard to defend that decision. That's a classic, well, we spent a 5th on him, and Baskerville was a UDFA. I get that last year, but it's year 2 for these guys now, and he still looks better than Sewell. So I disagree with that one.
Yeah, I agree.
You the GOAT, HG. Appreciate it.
Yeah, that one, like I said, we had talked about it.
Yeah, they're solid jerseys, Z-Man.
The fact that you kept Blasingame and Travis Homer, I thought was interesting as well, too. Because, granted, they do different things, but
technically Blasingame's been cut, but he's coming back. So
yeah, exactly. So
yeah, I'm not surprised, but I'm annoyed that they're going to keep Blasingame over Bates.
Yeah.
I thought Bates had a really good preseason, but
that's so too.
Yeah. All right. Here we go. Mailbag time. We need a few more, I think, but we have a decent amount now. I got 4 or 5 to work with. Hashtag Bears or Super Chat. A couple more just coming in. Roster questions. Trade. I know someone earlier asked about Khalil Herbert. Hashtag Bears asked that question. With them being heavy at running back, maybe they flip somebody. So, still a lot of maneuvering to come potentially. So, hashtag Bears Super Chat. We'll get your questions in. Let's get it. It's time for a Chicago Bears mailbag after initial roster cuts here. My name is Harrison Graham. Caleb with the question. He says, what position do we go after in waivers? Now, you might be watching this after waivers, but whether it's before or after, I think positions I would be interested in adding a piece. Defensive tackle, potentially a receiver. You got 5 right now. Do you look to upgrade from DeAndre Carter as your punt returner? He was a little shaky at times, but he has a good history of doing it. I think you're pretty good at, maybe you'd consider a tackle since Larry Borum's on short-term IR. But you got a lot of interior depth now. I think defensive tackle would probably be a position I would look at to potentially add a piece. Bill Nees, do you think they cut guys like Stroman so they have a shot to start somewhere else and not just be a practice squad player or deep backup? I don't. Yes and no, maybe, Bill, but I think mostly no. Like, if they thought he was one of their 53 best, they would have kept him. That's not screwing over a player. He's still making a, NFL contract money, and he's on your roster. There's no guaranteed Stroman will get picked up, although I think he will. If it's practice squad, if they're like, hey, you're not going to make our 53, go see if you can land somewhere else, and if not, we'll bring you back. Sure. But, no, I think he got squeezed out. Period. I don't think it was. He's worthy. We want to keep him, but we're gonna see if he can go start somewhere else. I don't think that's the case. Subscribe to Bears Now. We are on the road to 100,000 subscribers. We are less than 2,500 away, guys. Let's get there ASAP. Someone earlier asked, "Can we get there by week 1?" That's lofty. We're just days away, but hey, I would never discount Bears fans. So if you want free and daily Bears content, multiple live shows per week, live watch parties every single game day, we're the channel for you. Hit that sub button. Let's get it popping, baby. Ethan Eli, any more trades to come this year? Look, we know Ryan Poles is opportunistic. We know at the trade deadline he'll definitely be sniffing around. I could see a minor trade happen over the next couple of days. Do you flip one of these running backs to a team? Certainly possible. It's hard to know for sure. Ryan Poles definitely is always inquiring and seeing what's available. Angry Lees, what would it take, do you think, for a team to trade for Bagent? I think the Bears are pretty bullish on him. I don't think they're looking to trade him. I don't think they're interested in trading him. If a team offered a third, would they have to listen? Absolutely. Take a third for him and bring back Brett Rypien, you could do that, but I don't think they're going to trade him this year unless there's some crazy offer that they can't refuse. I think they like him. I think he's clearly their backup, and they proved that when they cut their other 2 guys. So it would have to be a pretty significant offer. And is a team going to offer a third for Bagent? Probably not. I would imagine offers would be like a 5th, and I'm not trading him for a 5th right now. Tedros, and then we'll get to that super chat. If Rome and Moore are for outworking Allen, do you trade him at the deadline to a team who is banged up at receiver? I don't know what you mean by outworking. I think Keenan Allen's work has been plenty good, but I don't think Allen gets moved. The only way Allen gets traded at the deadline is if this season is a disaster in the first half, like there's some major injury or they're just really struggling and they just want to get something for him. But knock on wood, that's not the case, and I'd be stunned if that was the case. Tyler Kendrick says, wish we kept Bates. He's going to get claimed so fast. We always say that, and then half the time they don't, so we don't know for sure, but I thought he showed a lot. He every week he produced. He had 100 yards on 6 catches in the preseason. That's over 17 yards per catch, so he had some juice. So, Tyler, I agree with you, and appreciate the super chat. Brian! Boom! He says, can't overreact to this. Was rooting for Bates. Most important thing is FGB. Well, that's always the most important thing. Get the FGBs in the chat for Brian. Get the FGBs. Brian, if you're watching this Q&A live, stay tuned. You just hit a little threshold for us on our live show. After this mailbag, we'll talk more. DC Viper, Bears are super light at receiver with Pettis going to IR. Do they pick someone up soon, or do they really stick with 5? Some teams just carry 5. I will say this, though. 5 receivers and 3 tight ends is a little bit light. I do wonder if there's an addition at one of those 2 positions, but and maybe there's a game day call-up early in the year at one of those 2 positions. It's hard to know. They do have Velus Jones, who can play receiver, so that is kind of 6. We got to keep that in mind. But, yeah, I'm a little surprised they went kind of on the lighter side of things at both receiver and tight end. Who do you guys think was the best Bears player to get cut? Best pure player? I think it was Greg Stroman. He's a guy who's played on Sundays and has held his own. Now, I'm not saying he was the best player from training camp to get cut, but best pure player when you factor everything in, I would say Stroman. I would not be shocked if a team signed him. But if you guys think it's him or someone else, drop his name in the comments. Adam Morrow, do you think there's a chance they can still trace Herbert since they kept Jones? Trade Herbert. Sure, but they're not just going to trade him to trade him. Like if some team's like, hey, we'll give you a 7th, I think Poles laughs at that. It would have to be at least a 5th, I think. Like, he's going to have a role if he's here. Like, he's going to get carries on Sundays. So they're not just going to give him away. So is it possible? Yes. Would I bank on it? No. Christian, what are your overall thoughts on the O-line depth? I think you got a lot of depth, especially in the interior. I mean, backup tackle's a little bit of a question mark with Borum on short-term IR, but Matt Pryor's a guy who can play both guard and tackle. I bet he serves as your swing tackle early on here, even though he played more guard this preseason. We'll see how quickly Karan Amagaji ramps up, but you got a lot of depth in the interior. Kramer's in the fold. Bates can play center or guard. We'll see what his health status is. Bill Murray made the team. Shout out Groundhog Day. And, I think the depth has grown steadily here on this offensive line. John Orticelli, how do you keep Noah Sewell ahead of Baskerville? I think it's draft pick fatigue. They drafted him in the 5th last year. Baskerville was undrafted. That probably got him the edge. I disagree with it. Now, maybe Sewell is a far better special teamer than Baskerville, but I'm with you. I would have kept Baskerville. That's just me. I thought he earned it. But the Bears, I don't think the Bears are saying he didn't earn it, but clearly they're saying he didn't earn it enough, I guess. I guess that's the best way I could put it. So, yeah, I was a little disappointed by that. Not shocked by it, but disappointed. Mark Peterson, thoughts on Parsons for a 1st, 3rd, and Herbert? I would probably do that. I mean, it's risky. You'd rather have a firm answer on Caleb Williams. I think we all feel really good about him. What you don't want to do is Khalil Mack this thing where you trade for a dominant edge and then you don't have the quarterback, and so it doesn't matter. I think we feel a lot better about Caleb than Mitch, but I'd probably do that deal, man. I think the Cowboys would ask for 2-1, so if a 1st, a 3rd, and Herbert was on the table for him, probably pull the trigger, even though it would cost a lot. All right. Thanks to everybody for tuning in to this mailbag episode. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. My name is Harrison Graham. Bear down, everybody. All right. Shout out to Brian. He gets 2 stickers. Shout out to Brian.
Get the booms in the chat.
Yeah, get the booms in the chat for our guy, Brian.
Get them in there. That means joining my man Harrison on a little boot race.
Yeah, you want to go fill one up?
I can do that.
I can just get some shout-outs here. Best Bears player to get cut. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Shout out Davey, Oliver for the booms, Jeff, Foxtrot, Tyler, Doug. Winner can choose, Justin. We have most guys available. Pretty flexible. Davey, Harley, both saying Baskerville, so is Ron. Reddy Stewart from Dakari. Definitely Baskerville from Christian. Yeah, I've liked him for 2 years. Austin Reed. I like Austin Reed, but he was not the best player to get cut. I like Agbaniga this preseason. Hope he gets to see the field a good amount. He'll be a core special teamer. I thought he improved every game at linebacker, too. I thought the first game was a little rough, but after that, he played a lot better. Thought UDFA corners played good in the preseason. Yeah, both Reddy Stewart and Leon Jones were solid, especially Stewart. Harrison, do you think we're getting Micah Parsons? I don't. Be awesome, but I don't. Deshaun says, not happy with keeping DeAndre Carter. He will get minimal touches, and I expect him to be the bottom of the roster guy. But if Pettis is hurt, like, who are you going to keep? Oh! We got Michael Horowitz. Get the booms in the chat. Get the booms in the chat. Here comes that man, Michael Horowitz, who gets 5 raffle tickets. Horowitz with the 200. Did you get Brian's 5 tickets in, by the way? So he gets 5. Horowitz gets 5. We got a beer boot race coming up. Got a lot to get to here. Because this one's coming in from Michael Horowitz. Boom! Boom! A double boom for Horowitz. He says, would not be a live stream without me. Hardy and Booker are keepers. Yeah, they kept them both. We'll see if Hardy survives waivers tomorrow. I do wonder if he'd be a guy they'd cut if they get a waiver claim. But I thought he earned it. He made it, so good for him. Michael, that's 4 more stickers for you, my friend, as you continue to litter up this helmet here. So shout out to Michael Horowitz. He gets his 5 jersey raffle tickets. Mike Darling in there as well. He says, is D-line still considered our weakest position group with recent acquisitions? Oh boy, we're heating up. I don't know if it's the weakest position group. I'd say defensive tackle is the biggest weakness. I think the edge group is at least solid. I mean, Montez Sweat is a good anchor there, and then you have some decent rotation guys now. But yeah, I think defensive tackle specifically, I would probably say yes. So Michael, I'm just going to throw Michael H here. Michael H. Michael H. Michael H. 4 stickers there. And then 2 more for Brian. Boom! Does TJ need to play 17 games for a new contract? Tevin Jenkins there. I don't think he has to play 17, but it's got to be at least 14, I would think. If it's like 11, 12, 13, that's going to give the Bears pause. But, yeah, if he can play 14-plus and be dominant when he plays, like that's a player worth signing, I think. That's a player worth signing. So, Brian, 2 more stickers here as him and Horowitz continue to go back and forth. Shout out to Brian. Shout out to Horowitz. Just a legendary performance from these two.
I know. They just showed up on a Tuesday afternoon and said, we want to be legends today.
Let's go.
And we appreciate it.
They woke up and say, I'm going to piss greatness today. Shout out to Brian.
Shout out.
All right, you want to do this race?
Yeah, we got to do it, don't we?
Do this race? Let's go. Have we gone over possible waiver ads? We will in a separate video. Oh! Sit back down, Cullen. Sit back down, Cullen. Here comes that man, the myth, the legend. We call him Michael Horowitz. Boom! 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 Little bonus one for Horowitz. He says, Hosky, shout out to Michael Horowitz.
Shout out to y'all, man.
The man, the myth, the Michael.
Wouldn't be alive without him.
He's a legend.
Let's go.
Michael freaking Horowitz. I'll tell you what, 50 years from now when I'm old and gray, hopefully I'm still alive 50 years from now, I'm still going to remember Michael Horowitz. That is a Graham guarantee.
100%.
That is a Graham guarantee as I get 4 more stickers on for him.
He will never be forgotten here at Bears Now.
Never.
Never.
Get the booms in the chat.
Yeah, spam some booms. Give us a shout out for some boobs. Shout out to Oliver, Doug, Harley. Shout out to the booms.
Michael, you're putting my Sharpie out of commission here. I mean, this is crazy.
Shout out to Mark. Shout out to Joe, Davey.
Some of these
Corey,
stickers
Joe.
are wearing off, by the way.
Travis says, "Damn, bonus boom. Never seen that." Well, never seen anything like Michael.
That one kind of slipped out, but yeah. There you go.
Corey, Joe, Tricky, Joe, Donald, Tedros.
What a legend.
Markel. Shout out to all y'all in the chat.
What a legend. All right. We're going to knock out this beer boot race. Last call for the jersey raffle, $10 to enter. You can get a max of 5 tickets. So, Brian, Michael, you guys have you've maxed out, obviously. But if you want to get in, we will do our raffle race before we sign off. Yeah, you guys brought the heat today, man. This was fun.
We're almost for
Horowitz, we're doing a beer boot race right now.
Yeah.
Don't worry. We're doing a beer boot race.
We got to come.
Doing it right now. Legend.
Yeah.
Enjoy your content, guys. Appreciate that, Mark. Appreciate that. Thanks to all the new subscribers, by the way, both here on Bears Now and 4 Verts. Appreciate that. Cross 2,000 on 4 Verts, my NFL and college football show. So you guys are awesome. Thanks for supporting as always. And we're going to do this beer boot race, and then we will do our jersey raffle and call it a day unless you guys want to keep super chatting it up. But Collin and I do have other stuff to prep for. I got to put some waiver wire targets together, so we'll get going on that here in a little bit. But cheers, buddy.
Salute, brother.
All right. What did we do last time?
10
You want to give me 15 this time?
15.
Is that enough?
You could probably give me a 15.
All right. I'm going to try.
We'll get you a 15.
So Colin's going to count down. 3, 2, 1, go. I'll start, and then he'll count down from 15 to 1, and then he will start. He's just a lot faster than me, so if you guys want pure entertainment, can I win with the 15-second head start? Y for yes, I can. N for no, I can't. Let me know in the chat. Y for yes, N for no, and 3, 2, 1, go, and then down from 15 to 1. Horowitz.
Oh, my God. He wants another boot race.
If we cross 1,500, Michael, we're at 1,300 and change. Michael wants another race. If we cross 1,500, we'll run it back.
1,500?
Yeah.
Okay.
If we cross 1,500, we'll run it back. So, clock's ticking because after this, we're doing the jersey raffle, and if it's not 1,500 by then, we're getting out of here. But
I'll get your super chat flashed up here in a second, Michael.
And shout out Emiliano. All right. You ready?
Yep. I'll count them down. 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, that's just... Oh, man. Shout out to everyone. Woo! That was insane.
Couple things here. One, you're just way faster than me. 2, that was not 15 seconds. You were sprinting. 1, 2, 3, 4. That was fast.
That was more like a 1, 2, 3. I was doing like the little.
Was that 15? How many seconds was Colin's 15 seconds? I'm saying it was like 11.
Seconds there.
I'm saying it was like 11.
All right,
it wouldn't have mattered, but
we'll do. If we do another boot race, it'll be 15 Mississippis. How about that?
Okay, 15 Mississippis. Well, we just crossed 1,400 thanks to Robert. Chicago Rob, I'm getting there.
Here's Horowitz.
Oh, that's just mean, Fernando. Can I get one more? If we get to 1,500, Horowitz, we're at over 1,400. So Emiliano with the 5. He said, did I make the team? I didn't know you were on the Bears. Maybe. You tell me. Robert with the 50 says, was hoping Baskerville would make the team this year. Going to be a great season, Bear Down FGB. Robert, you get 5 raffle tickets for our jersey raffle, which we're going to do shortly. If you're trying to get in on that, guys, last call. I'm going to put 2 minutes on my stopwatch. 2 minutes.
I was about to say, I could already got it.
I got it rolling here. You're good.
Appreciate it.
2 minutes here. $10 to enter. You can get up to 5 tickets like Robert, who also gets into the Bears Helmet Hall of Fame. And we'll Once the race is done, if we're not at 1,500, no race here. Yeah, happy dad, Rhina. It's hard to do full, like, Miller cores or something like that during the workday. The happy dads are a little easier to take down. Robert. There's another sticker for you. This helmet's basically full, man. We'll raffle it off week 1. Our off-season helmet Hall of Fame. Our new helmet came in for the season. We're ready to rock and roll, baby. Ready to rock and roll, baby. Oh! There it is. There it is.
Just as I put the Super Chat menu back up, they're already here.
This second one's going to be tough. I'm not going to lie.
This
second one is going to be tough.
How about I do 18 Mississippis for Caleb Williams? How about that?
Okay, 18 Mississippis.
18 Mississippi. So here's Michael.
Michael says, I'm capped. Come on, guys. Let's do this. Brian says, here's your 100. Drink again. Brian, 2 more stickers for you. And let's give Brian and Michael a bonus raffle ticket.
Okay.
I think that's more than fair with their contributions today.
Easily. I'm adding them in. Got Tedros also coming in here.
Tedros, you get another raffle ticket. 2 minutes is wrapping up here, so we'll get the last few that trickle in.
Yep.
But that'll be it. Oh, man. Dropped my Sharpie lid.
All right.
Starting to drag here a little bit. Say what?
I said Mississippi's this time. Caleb says no cheese, Colin. I got y'all.
We got to space this out first. Let's do the raffle first. My stomach needs it.
No, that's fair.
And, Rob, we're good on the lift, but I appreciate it.
Yeah, we're Gucci.
I appreciate it. Oh, man. Get the booms in the chat from Michael and Brian. Couple of legends here today. Oh, man.
Oh, man.
Colin could probably go to the 4th of July hot dog eating and lemonade drinking contest and destroy everyone. We've said that about Chugs before to do the lemonade contest. It's a full gallon, man. It's tough. That Badlands Booker or whatever his name is.
Yeah.
Dude, he's a tank.
He's an absolute.
He does a gallon in like 12 seconds or something. It's nuts.
I can't do that. Colin, I think they calling you fat. Man.
Ty Man. That's why we're here, man. Call him out, Ty Man. I'll tell Petey you chimed in.
Oh, man.
All right. I think we're good on the raffles here. So we got everybody in there. Did you get their bonus tickets in there? Tedros in there. All right. Good deal.
We got 97 entries.
97 entries. All right.
So here we go.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Go. And we're off in the Kentucky Derby as we're 10 seconds in. Terrell Dudley with the early lead as he starts to fall back. Robert Ratcliffe, keep an eye on him on the inside post or pool, as we call it here. Agent Chartreuse. If Agent Chartreuse wins, it goes to second place. He's donating his. So shout out Agent Chartreuse in the chat right there. If he wins, someone else is going to get that jersey. Robert Ratcliffe still lurking up top. We got, who's that coming up the gut and the pink ducky there?
That's
something May. I'm not seeing the first name. Jake lurking there in the middle.
Yeah,
Trickster Jake, as I like to call him now. We got Brandon Perez as well. Here comes Angry Leads. 7 seconds to go. Jake up the middle. Who's going to take this one? Who wants to win it?
J.D. Dorsey.
Is it going to be Jeremy J.D. Dorsey? It is! Jeremy J.D. Dorsey.
Good stuff.
So, Jeremy, DM me on Twitter or Instagram. I'll get both those links in the chat. If you're in the chat right now, please acknowledge. We want to make sure you get your jersey. We'll get your information, and you can pick jersey size, etc. We'll ship it out to you. So, Tedros says my duck sucked. Yeah, back to film study, Tedros. Sometimes the ducks just Just don't bring it. Just don't bring it. Everyone was in there.
Yeah. No,
We double, triple checked.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can't see them because when there's that many, they overlap.
Jeremy's there.
All right, so Jeremy, Twitter @HGramNFL, Instagram @HGramNFL. DM me, say, yo, it's Jeremy, I won, and we'll exchange info, and we'll get you a jersey, all right? Congratulations.
Did you see Tedros? My duck sucked. F that. He's cut.
Yeah, he's not making the 53. All right, Colin, hold it down for a sec.
Okay.
I want to stretch my legs, and I'll fill up these boots.
Okay.
And then we will knock out a race on the way out of here. So appreciate you guys, and stay tuned.
All right. So, yeah, Harry's going to go grab the boots. It's going to take a second, but, yeah, we'll see. Like I said, my bad on the counting. Honestly, I thought I was giving him enough time, but I'll make sure to do Mississippi's. Ain't no cheating the Mississippi's. Ain't nobody cheat. Oh, man. Whew. But yeah. 1.5K from you guys today? Legends. PD says, Colin, don't take it easy on him. Never do. Never do. Mike, I'll pass that message along to Harry, brother. We got a lot of love for you, man. You've contributed a lot to the show just since I've been here. So shout out to you, man. Oh, feel free to ask me whatever. Talk about whatever, you know. Bears roster moves or anything like that. Where's Nessel? Listen, I counted, right? I even asked before, and I was like, hey, 1, 2, 3. And he thought it was fine, so whatever. Like I said, Mississippi's this time. There will be no cheating. Nothing. So we got Michael coming in here. Shout out to you, sir. He says, how can I get your job? Just know. Listen, man, follow, excuse me. Follow Chat Sports, and whenever there's a job posting, apply for it. You know, I believe when you came on our show, you said you had some prior history or experience working in sports. So, yeah, kind of works. Mike says, Chug, we will be doing so in just a second. We will be doing so in just a second. Oh, man. Colin is just a wee pup in the Bears Now lore, but this man is a legend in the making. Appreciate that, Rolly's neckbeard. I know I got big shoes to fill, so we'll see. We shall see. Tyler, yes, we did get your raffle. Got the whole list. It's just hard with that many amount of ducks to like highlight every single duck. But yes, we got you in there. Any cuts around the league that shocked you?
I just have not been able to
monitor
it enough. I will do a deep dive.
Yeah, I mean,
after we sign off.
Yeah.
Is there a tracker somewhere? Like someone, like I feel like that's something Ari would put out. Yeah. Put out a deep tracker.
Yeah.
See if there's any notable ones here.
No, for sure. I thought Desmond Ridder getting cut was funny. It's not shocking, but I thought it was funny.
By the way, and I'm micing back up here.
Yep.
Is that now the most irrelevant trade in NFL history?
It's up there.
So, the Falcons traded Desmond Ridder to the Cardinals for Rondale Moore.
Yep.
Well, Rondale Moore is out for the season with an injury.
Right.
And Desmond Ridder got cut.
Yeah.
So, is that the most irrelevant trade ever? I mean, maybe
It's
Moore comes back and does something in the future, but
it's up there.
I don't know, man. Definitely pretty irrelevant right now, at least. All right, Colin, that is yours.
Okay.
And this is mine. And the stomach's not. It's feeling a little full, so we're gonna try and battle here. But I'd be lying if I said I was optimistic, even with an 18-second head start. But we're gonna give it a whirl. Odo Beckham's on the PUP list. So. Oh, Lyle Collins got cut. He'd be swing tackle option, maybe? I know he's not really – he hasn't been that great in recent years, but maybe he's an option.
Yeah, so 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, just for the record.
Yeah, he's gonna count down Mississippi style because last time 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm kidding. It was probably 10, 11 seconds. It was not 15. I will go review the tape. All right. He's gonna 3, 2, 1 me. I'll start and then 18 Mississippi. Now don't overcompensate. Just standard 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3. Collin's got tricks up his sleeve. We're good to go.
Colin, what's your thoughts on Caleb Williams? Do you think he's become the next best quarterback in the NFL for the Bears? I think Caleb's going to be great. Bears this year, we'll save it till prediction day. How about that?
Ooh, prediction day. It's going to be fun. All right, here we go. We're doing these. Then it's past time to get out of here. But thank you guys for rocking and rolling with us. Colin, you got the floor.
All right, 3, 2, 1, go. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi, 5 Mississippi, 6 Mississippi, 7 Mississippi, 8 Mississippi, 9 Mississippi, 10 Mississippi, 11 Mississippi, 12 Mississippi, 13 Mississippi, 14 Mississippi, 15 Mississippi, 16 Mississippi, 17 Mississippi, 18 Mississippi. All right.
That was fair.
Okay.
That was. I think on the first one I might have could have done it. I had to burp mid chug. I don't know if you heard that. That ended my chances.
But now we know. 18 seconds roughly, and we'll do it next time on the first one.
Michael, I wish it was. It's Happy Dads, and it was grape flavor, which is my least favorite. So that was not ideal. That was not ideal. Hardy was not cut. Unless something just changed. Hardy was not cut. He made the team. All right.
Oh, man. Shout out to you guys, man.
Thank you guys so much.
Whew. That was not fun. Ugh.
Yeah, final roster's in. It's on the channel, my reaction to it, Everett. So we're about to sign off, but you can check it out. Go to the content tab. Colin and I are out of here. I need to go piss out a gallon of Happy Dads and go reset my brain here. But thanks for tuning in. Shout out to Colin for producing. Bears initial 53 is set. Waiver wire tomorrow, so lots more to come. Hit that sub button. Bear down.